I think it's just pretty much the same as Facebook. You know, so.
And is the testing process similar to that on Facebook?
No, for me, I only launch my ads on Monday and Friday. That's where I also only analyze my data. So it really depends as well. Like for us, sometimes we launch 100 campaigns per week, but it's also comparing to Facebook, where a lot of people are on Facebook. You test single products on 50 euros, for example. But we do we launch a campaign on 10 euro budget. We slowly scaling it. So, and yeah, we can do a lot on there as well. We can A/B test with certain budgets, certain strategies as well. Don't want to give too much information about the strategies as well, of course.
Well, you never can. you said earlier, most people don't even take action.
No.
So I wouldn't worry about that.
No. So, it's... what I said, we launch ads on Monday and Friday. And for every store it's different. You just need to figure out what's working for each store, which strategies are working for each store, and then just go double down on that. And for example, right now we have 9 stores, so we're just figuring out every store, what's working, what's sticking, and what's not. And then we go there.
Okay. So if you were launching a campaign for a new store, do you do an individual product, or do you come up with a bunch of products? Like, what does that process look like, and what type of campaign would you launch as well?
Yeah, so it's for Pinterest, like your account needs to be warmed up in the beginning. So, and that takes like 2 weeks, I think. So we launch just conversion campaigns, and that's with Performance Plus. And we don't launch individual campaigns. We do a bunch of products in just one campaign. So for example, we always do in the beginning, we launch 5 product campaigns or 10 product campaigns. Okay, 5 product campaigns we launch from 5 euros, 10 product campaigns on 10 euros. Per product we have like 4 creatives, but we A/B test it in the beginning to see what works. So the first campaign, okay, we do 10 products, 4 creatives per product, and the other campaign is like a duplicate, which is the best creative, so only 1 creative. And then after 2 weeks, you can actually analyze, okay, what is working better for us? Is 1 creative or 4 creatives? Okay, that is, for example, 1 creative is working really good. Okay, then we pick that creative out, we make more creatives from that winning creative, launch more ads, and so we on, So I think that's a process. And next to that, we also launch a lot of collection campaigns. So for example, right now it's summer in Germany, right? So you want to launch fashion collections. So for example, sandals, shoes, sunglasses, swimwear, whatever. That works really well as well on Pinterest. Collection campaigns.
Is it a slightly older demographic on Pinterest, or is it mixed?
It is a little bit older, yeah. I've did a deep dive into that, and yeah, most people like age between 50 and 65.
Really?
Yeah. In the USA, it's a little bit different. They're like younger, but for example, in Europe, they're more older. Yeah.
That's interesting, and I wonder if that has any impact on the type of customer that you are dealing with and complaints and stuff in the back end. Do you feel like it makes a difference?
Yes, like older people, they complain more, of course. They are more hesitant. They're like, hey, where's my order? They can send an email after 1 day, where's my order, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's a bottleneck, of course. But no, that actually goes very well if you have just your customer support team good into place with good systems, good email flows. But no, actually, it's... And that's also a thing, like every market is different. So Germany, more older people, USA, more younger people. So, yeah.
What would you say makes a good Pinterest store? Like, is there anything that stands out? Like, these things need to be in check for it to kind of work? Is there a certain type of AOV, a certain niche? I know you said you do competitor research, but is there certain things that you see across all 9 stores that kind of line up?
So we have a general store, so we sell everything, right? So it can be fashion, it can be gadgets, it can be home decoration. Because I feel like if you test a lot of products, you can then eventually check what's working for you. So for example, if you only test on one niche, so for example beauty niche, but it doesn't stick with that store, that's not a good thing. So we make sure that we can test a lot of products from different niches to eventually, for example, we have one store where beauty niche is very good. So then we're only going to focus on beauty niche, for example. And the AOV on Pinterest is like around 40 euros.
Okay, AOV on Pinterest, €40.
Yeah.
And then what's a typical CPA?
CPA. That's also for every store different, and that's something where we don't really look into the data, because for us, because you launch a bunch of products into one campaign. So you have, for example, sometimes you have 100 creatives in one campaign and only 4 creatives are spending. So you actually look way more into the campaign itself. So like, okay, the products are having high spend, but the ROAS is very shit. Okay, turn off these products. After a few days, you then analyze the average ROAS. If the ROAS is good, okay, you scale up the campaign. If the ROAS is still shit, okay, you turn off the campaign. And that's what I said as well. Like, we focus on really mass testing. So what we do sometimes, when I open my dashboard in one store, we have 300 active campaigns, but they're all running on a very low budget. So, okay, for example, we start running these campaigns on €5, and then after a week, we're going to analyze 70 products we can throw out, but the other ones are slowly doing good. And that's why we never really have these decreases in revenue, because, okay, a lot of products are doing shit, but also a lot of campaigns are doing good. We make sure that our break-even ROAS is around like 1.4, 1.5. So if you're already doing a ROAS of 2.2, you're already making good profit. So that's why we also make sure that our break-even ROAS is really low. So we can actually test a lot of products without having that many losses in the beginning. And then, like I said as well, I think before the meeting, what we do now is, okay, we test, for example, 100 products per store. But like I said as well, you put all these products into campaigns, right? So for example, you put 50 products into one campaign, but only maybe 3 or 4 products will get the spend and will get the results. The other 44 or 45 products in that campaign don't even get the spend they deserve. So it's actually wasted on product listing, wasted on so many things. So what we then do is we duplicate that campaign, we turn off the good products and give the spend to the products that didn't get the spend in the first place. And we do that after a week. So then what we do then is we test these 100 products for a month. And at first, because dropshipping is like testing so many products every week, every day, you actually forget that part. You actually forget, like, hey, where's the potential? Which products are actually showing good results? So in the beginning, we tested 100 products per store per week. But so many products, more than like 75% of the products we tested didn't even got the spend, didn't even got the results. So now we're really focused on less products, finding the best products out, test them for a certain amount of time, for like 4 weeks, make sure that every product get the spend they deserve on Pinterest. And then after 4 weeks, we're gonna analyze and see what's working good, and we're gonna focus on these products only. So we make different campaigns. For example, we make weekly winners of these products. We make monthly winners of these products. We're checking, okay, in certain campaigns, we have a lot of add to carts. Okay, we're gonna make a campaign only with products that only had add to carts but no sales. And then we actually see very great results. So that's also a lot of things what we do. We analyze so many things because there are so many different strategies you can actually apply on Pinterest, testing on a very low budget, which can make you test a lot of things out in the first place.
Yeah.
So that's really great. For example, on Facebook, you cannot really do that because you need way more money. You know what I mean? And that's what I said. Like, and that was really, really funny. 2 weeks ago, I was with my front-end manager analyzing all the data from every store, and we had so many campaigns live on each store. I was like, oh, this is too much. You know what I mean? Okay, what we're gonna do now? We're gonna pause for 2 weeks. We're not gonna test anything. What we're going to do in these 2 weeks, we're going to analyze, okay, we have like 10 different strategies. Okay, what is the average ROAS? Pause campaigns, active campaigns, what is going good? How do we scale? And then in a week, we see, okay, this is working. Okay, we scaled these campaigns with 20% or 40%. Okay, we analyze that, we write it down. And then after 2 weeks of like having tested nothing at all, we can go again with the data we had. From analyzing all this stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then you actually know it's like, hey, okay, this sticks, this is not sticking. Okay, let's go with this strategy on this store. Yeah. That's a constant loop for us. But for a lot of people, they just do the same stuff over and over again, the same strategies, the same thing, and they think like it's gonna hit. at some point. But then after like maybe 2-3 months, it doesn't stick anymore, you know, because it only happened one time.
What is there's a, I don't know if this is relevant to what you're saying, but when you talk about just keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome, they say that's the definition of insanity. You know, just doing things over and over again and expecting something to change. So I guess it's a good thing to mix up your strategy, like you're saying, really analyze the data and I guess just keep testing and iterating, you know.
To interrupt you?
Yeah.
Like, in the beginning you cannot really do that because you need more money. So for us, we A/B test a lot of stuff. We test so many different strategies, but you also need to have some cash flow. So my advice in the beginning, just stick with like 1, 2, 3 strategies for like 2-3 weeks. If that doesn't work, okay, change up your strategy. How many campaigns did you launch and what is the win rate, for example, you know? If you see, okay, the win rate is really shit, okay, you need to change your strategy. And what I always say, like, push your campaigns on the lowest budget possible. If it's not working on the lowest budget, okay, move up your budget a little bit, because otherwise you lose way too many money in the first place. You know what I mean?
So how long would you typically run a new campaign for, and what metrics are you looking out for to determine whether or not this is something that's worth continuing, or that we should maybe just kill it and it's not worked out?